In this video, we'll be talking about the Zoom LiveTrak L8 and how it can help you start your own podcast channel in 2020. Hey guys, my name is Cheng and I'm a freelance guitarist right here in Singapore. I make videos to help aspiring musicians to get into the game easier and start making music as their career. Let's talk about podcasts today and how you can be a podcaster in 2020. Now, who is a podcaster? In short, a podcaster is something like a radio DJ who works at a broadcast station, but instead you work from anywhere you want with your equipment. In this video, we'll be looking at the Zoom LiveTrak L8, which is one of my personal recommendations for people who are looking for a mixer to do the following things. You want to start your own podcast. Number 2, you want to live stream your video podcasts or your music sessions. Number 3, you want to record your music and your podcast while you live stream so that you can mix it again in post-production later on. And someone who wants a basic live sound mixers for small shows. 2020 is the year to start podcasting, and you can even generate some income on the side if you're registered with things like Anchor.fm. But I'll leave that to another video in the future. For now, let's take a look at this sweet but powerful mixing console. So this is the Zoom LiveTrak L8 and it costs about $555 right here in Singapore. I want to thank City Music for loaning this unit out for me to show it out to you guys. City Music is a music shop right here in Singapore and they sell all the gears that you need as a musician looking to invest. Be sure to check them out if you're in Singapore. I'll leave the link in the description below. The Zoom LiveTrak L8 has 6 combo jacks, which means you can plug in your XLR cable for your microphones or a 1/4-inch cable for your instruments. It has 2 additional input which you can insert 2 more instruments if you want. But the cool thing about the last 2 channels is that this little 1/8-inch input which you can plug your phone in. You can choose to record a phone call live, play background music tracks for your karaoke sessions, or even use it as a sound effect if you need more than what the mixer can hold. This mixer has this thing called the mix minus, which sounds very complicated, but what it means is that the other person on the end of the phone call will not be able to hear themselves. You know, like those very echoey sounds of yourselves you hear sometimes if you're talking to people online, and this really distracts you from the conversation. And all this is automatic, which is awesome. The Zoom LiveTrak L8 also comes with a TRRS cable already, so you don't really have to go out and find one. The TRRS cable looks like this with the tip, ring, and sleeve, okay? 3 lines. Speaking about sound effects, the board comes with 6 customizable pads that you can trigger backing tracks, intro jingles, sound effects. These are the very few ways to do this. You can press the pad one time and you'll play from the beginning to the end. You can trigger it again if you want the same sound effects to start once more. Secondly, you can loop this sound effect by using the loop function, so the sound effects just keeps going until you press again to stop it. The last way is to use the hold function, which is to hold the sound pad for as long as you want the sound effects to be triggered and then release it whenever you want to stop the sound effects. Now these buttons tells you what you are selecting. With the press of this button, you can see whether you are selecting the right input. If you are using the 1/4-inch input, the 1/4-inch button will light up. Same goes for the USB connection as well as the sound pad. For the last channel, it has an additional input which indicates the phone input is being used, and that means your mix minus is being triggered as well. Let's continue moving right. As you can see, it has 2 XLR outputs which can be connected to your speakers to hear back. This could be used for live performances for your band or your events, and even use it to connect your studio monitors to start mixing your recorded tracks. The master output also has a 1/4-inch output so that you can connect your headphones to listen to the mix as well. This is good because if you are doing a live podcast from wherever you are, you can actually hear and control the mix for your podcast or your live streams in real time with a pair of headphones. Now moving on, we have 3 separate 1/4 inch outputs which are for your headphones or aux mixers. You can have each of these outputs to have a separate mix from one another. You just have to press the mixer button right below and select the monitor mix you want. Now one thing about the mixer is that it doesn't come with motorized faders, which might make it cooler, just that. The headphone mixers are good because if you have 3 additional guests on your show, they can each have a customized headphone mix for their own headphones. If the headphone cables is not long enough, you can get an extender, or you can use something like a headphone amplifier to connect your headphones. These Behringer's P1s that I have are the exact headphone amplifiers that I use for my live covers here on my YouTube channel, and they each cost just below 100 Sing dollars. Let's move on to the main board. As you can tell, this looks like your traditional analog mixing console, which I love because I started out in analog mixing. I cannot stress this enough. I think it's crucial to understand the basic of sound engineering through a basic analog mixer so that the knowledge can help you learn the digital boards faster in the future. The board has very basic controls. At the very top, we have one phantom power switch that caters to all the 6 microphone channels. So this means you can plug in your condenser microphones if your space is treated nicely. Right below, we have 2 high Z for your instruments inputs and 4 channels with a -26 dB pad if your signal is too hot. Now these are adjustable gain knobs for each individual channel. It has up to +54 dB of gain. After that, we have the SEL button, which means to select the channel that you want to process. The REC/play button is for you to arm your tracks for recording. And then before the fader, we have the mute button. That actually really concludes the mixer part. Now for each individual channel, you can do 4 things. When you press at the SEL button, which select your channel, you can input your effects. You can pan the channel left or right. You can do a low cut, which is to cut away the rumbling frequencies of your microphones. And lastly, you can do 3-band EQ adjustment. Sadly, we can't really do a lot of things like compressing or de-essing, but you don't really need that actually if you want just a basic stuff. For the EQ portion, the low cut is set at 75 Hz. That means when you press the low cut button, everything under 75 Hz will get cut out. The high is set at 10 kHz, mids at 2.5 kHz, and the low end at 100 Hz. This is good to remember if you are doing EQing on the fly. Moving on to the last portion of the mixer, we have the necessary controls. There's a little LCD screen to display information on what you'll need. The black knob underneath the screen is for you to adjust the parameters for whichever category you are on. At the most bottom part, these are the different categories that can be triggered, and the black knob will then be used to tweak the settings. In that middle portion, there are some extra parameters to help you navigate through your settings too. For example, you can save up to 7 scenes in this mixer. You can record each individual track together with your master output onto an SD card if you want to do post-production after your show. Power-wise, this can be powered via a USB power bank, USB from your computer, and 4 AA batteries. I'm currently using the 4 AA batteries to power this thing up as I talk to you. Take note that phantom power eats into your power consumption as well when you have the additional 48V phantom power on. So this mixer makes it perfect to go to places which has no power supply at all to record something. At this point in time, if you have made it this far, thank you so much for staying here with me, and I hope I have helped you out in some way. If I did, please help me hit the like button so that YouTube can somehow recognize my video through their algorithms. I'll also leave some of the links in the description box below for you guys to check it out, and if you do use that link, I'll get a small commission from it as well. This helps with funding this channel and possibly help me to make more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much. Okay, let's talk about what I love and I don't love about this mixer. Firstly, this mixer looks like an analog board which I am more comfortable with. I like to push faders a lot, so this feels very familiar. Secondly, it has all the basic features I need to do a live stream, host my own radio show, and even set up a small event with this. Thirdly, I love that it can be powered by a power bank, batteries, and even your computer. You see? It's batteries. So for me, this means that I don't really have to get another power socket to plug into my ever-increasing chain of power consumption. For people who want to do a live stream without having to worry about the software too much, this is the perfect board for you. All you need to do now is to make sure that your computer can read this mixer, download OBS, and set it up so that you can live stream almost immediately. Okay, there are not many things that I don't like about this mixer. One of the things that I am not confident with this is the plastic build of this mixer. Knowing me, I might be clumsy enough to drop this somehow, and I'm not sure if it will hold up. But I guess for the price, there are some things that I can do without, like having compression or de-esser in your effects channel. Also, this thing runs by micro USB, so I'm not sure if it's even relevant for the times you are in now, but I know that I have to buy a few more of these cables just in case some of them breaks. Another thing I don't like about this is the fact that the faders are not motorized. I mean, I can't complain so much, but a motorized version would be so cool to see. Because right now, if you're switching between your headphones or scenes, you have to bring each fader up or down back to the original position before making any changes to it. It might be one step too much if you're mixing it live on the fly, you know. Also, a very entitled thinking would be the fact that it lacks an app control for your guests to be able to adjust their own headphone mix live. Right behind me here, I have the Mackie DL16S, which I use for all my live shows because it has the capability to let everyone control their own monitor mix with their phones. Okay, I know that's completely out of the capability for this L8. I'm just hoping, you know, a boy can dream. Anyway, we've come to the end of the video today. I honestly hope that I've helped you out in your journey. If you have any questions at all, as usual, leave them in the comment section below so that I can answer them. Even if you don't have any questions at all, you know, let me know what are some of your thoughts on this mixer and leave something nice for me to read, I guess. Also, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, press the bell, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye. Now for each I tell you the secret. This is the Deity V-Lav microphone. Okay, Deity, okay, Deity microphones, V-Lav, and it's like 70 bucks only. Cool, right? It's like, look at the wire, man. It's underneath my shirt.